I have a problem if we don't.
Yeah.
Like, just because Trump thought of it, I'm not against it. Something that would stop the increasing number of rogue missiles that are in this world from maybe coming over here and incinerating me. Yeah, mark me down as a pro for that. I'm pro having... Now, can we do it? I don't know. And the ballroom, I don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit. I was reading, it shows you like how the media is. Everything is always on one side or the other. When he's first mentioned it, it was like all about, oh my God, he's desecrating the White House. Then I finally read, oh, well, you know, they've done to the White House before. It's just a building.
Bill Maher and Bill O'Reilly just dropped a major truth bomb explaining why deep blue states are starting to turn red. And the reasons are both surprising and eye-opening. Even the most hardcore liberals, who once insisted they would never support a Republican, are now reconsidering their stance. And these two political veterans break down exactly how Donald Trump is appealing to voters in ways most people didn't expect. From economic concerns to cultural shifts, Maher and O'Reilly highlight the key factors behind this unexpected political swing, showing how traditional voting patterns are being disrupted. Whether you agree or not, this is a must-watch for anyone trying to understand the changing political landscape in the United States. And it raises important questions about the future of elections and voter behavior.
To build a new missile defense system called the Golden Dome. Ah, yes, I read about this. That could cost hundreds of billions of dollars. Is that a good use of money?
Well, I mean, look, he's building, he wants to build an arch on the mall. You know, he's building a place he can dance at the White House and do the YMCA. He's going to do that there. And he wants to build a dome. I mean...
you got to protect the dance hall.
True. By the way, I'm very excited. I'm very excited, you know, when the Democrats take the White House in 28, when we have the ballroom, you know, the Pride Month in February is going to be great in that ballroom.
The Democrats are losing it over Trump's decision to build a ballroom inside the White House, calling it a desecration of a historic institution. Jared Moskowitz even joked that Trump just wants a place to dance the YMCA, which went viral on social media, but Bill Maher wasn't laughing. He fired back with a sharp, witty response, flipping the joke on the Democrats and highlighting how their outrage often says more about their obsession with Trump than the action itself. Maher's comeback perfectly captures the frustration of moderates tired of the left's constant performative outrage. It's classic Maher. Brutal, clever, and completely unfiltered. You don't want to miss this fiery response.
Don't.
Yeah.
Like, just because Trump thought of it, I'm not against it. Something that would stop the increasing number of rogue missiles that are in this world from maybe coming over here and incinerating me. Yeah, mark me down as a pro for that. I'm pro having... Now, can we do it? I don't know. You know, I read, you know, he says it'll take 3 years and 180 billion, and they say, well, that's it's going to take 10. Whatever it is. Of course, everything is over scheduled and never comes in on time or on budget.
Bill Maher didn't hold back as he slammed the DNC for their automatic opposition to anything Trump does. He joked that Democrats have gotten to the point where if Trump said rain is wet, they'd insist it's dry just because he said it. Maher pointed out that the left refuses to acknowledge any of Trump's ideas, even when they could genuinely benefit the country, like his proposed Golden Dome missile defense system, which was dismissed solely because of his name. And he didn't stop there. When the ballroom controversy came up, Maher's response was fiery, roasting critics while exposing how political obsession has blinded many to basic common sense. It's classic Maher, witty, sharp, and unfiltered.
That's, to me, a worthy thing. And the ballroom, I don't give. I really don't give. I was reading, it shows you like how the media is. Everything is always on one side or the other. When he's first mentioned it, it was like all about, oh my God, he's desecrating the White House. Then I finally read, oh, well, you know, they've done to the White House before. It's just a building, I think. Also, like, I realized after reading other people, we don't have a place when they have state dinners. They're doing it in a tent. This is America. So do I give it that he's doing this to the White House? I really don't.
Here's the interesting part. Those massive event tents at the White House aren't cheap. During Obama's presidency, renting a temporary tent for a major event reportedly cost over $1 million for just one night. Building a permanent ballroom, on the other hand, is practical, elegant, and saves taxpayers money over time by avoiding constant setup, teardown, and rental fees. But the DNC still has a problem. Instead of seeing the logic, they criticize it simply because it's Trump's idea. Bill Maher pointed this out, calling out Democrats for refusing to recognize basic common sense whenever Trump is involved, even when the plan is clearly more cost-effective and benefits future administrations.
Money privately.
Yeah, and it's private money.
You know, and if Newsom wants to knock it down when he's president, then he can knock it down, right?
Save your ire for the things that matter.
That's right.
You
But
know,
they don't
these
know
people-
what matters.
Well,
Well, you know as well as I do
I don't give a shit.
that the media is not in the business any longer of reporting what matters. It's not. They make their money either hating or loving Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's where the cash
Yeah.
register is. What matters doesn't matter to them.
Okay.
Bill O'Reilly hits the nail on the head. Today's media doesn't care about facts. It's all about clicks, ratings, and outrage. Most outlets either rage bait their audience or cozy up to Trump for attention, leaving no room for nuance or balanced reporting. Instead of investigating and verifying, the focus is on stories that drive engagement and ad revenue, where feelings often outweigh facts and truth takes a backseat to traffic. O'Reilly argues this toxic cycle is why many Americans have lost trust in mainstream news. As journalism has shifted from informing the public to manipulating emotions, creating a media landscape that thrives on division rather than delivering facts.
I think that Mamdani's election will lead more financial organizations to leave New York City for Wall Street South in Florida. Tell me, I've read that term just recently, Wall Street South, Florida. This is your
Palm Beach.
state. What is that?
A lot of Wall Street guys have moved to Palm Beach. It's been happening really since COVID. It's accelerated with increases in taxes. It's not just out of New York. It's New Jersey, Connecticut, it's Chicago, it's California.
So they're fleeing high-tax blue states
correct.
for
Look,
Florida. And
This is the luckiest guy in the world that Mamdani got elected because his district is going to explode. My house, I live 8 miles outside of Queens, has gone up 20% in value since Mamdani announced. Okay?
because
Because people aren't going to pay the punishing taxes. New York is the highest tax state in the union.
but you said your house value's gone up.
Yeah,
So
because they're
people-
moving to Nassau County.
Oh, they're moving out of the city.
Out of
I
the
see,
city, and
I
they can
see.
still take the train back in the city and not pay the millionaire's tax or whatever crazy thing this guy wants.
Now that Mamdani is officially in office, it's time to move beyond speculation, commentary, and campaign promises and focus on what he can actually deliver. His actions will speak louder than any rhetoric, and voters will judge him on results. Leaning too aggressively into socialist-style policies could alienate moderates, independents, and Democrats tired of ideological extremes, potentially giving momentum to Trump and the GOP. But if Mamdani governs wisely, prioritizes practical solutions, stays true to core democratic principles, and earns genuine goodwill from ordinary Americans, he could strengthen the DNC heading into 2028. His performance in the coming months won't just shape his own future, it could redefine the direction, tone, and identity of the Democratic Party itself. Whether he becomes a stabilizing force or another polarizing figure depends entirely on the choices he makes. And the next chapter of his leadership will reveal if he's a true unifier or a divisive player in an already fractured political landscape.
But what people don't understand is he can't raise the taxes unless the state okays it, and the state is not going to okay it. So this is just smoke and mirrors. And the younger people who voted for him, they don't understand that. They don't know what seizing the means of production is, but Ken Griffin does. He's the big Wall Street titan. He knows what it is, and that's why he's down in Palm Beach.
We'll see if they move. I mean, you saw Bill.
They're going to move.
Well, look,
They're
Bill-
already moving.
Hold on, Bill Ackman
No,
threatened.
they're not.
Hold on.
People say they're going to move all the time after
let-
elections.
listen.
They don't do it.
Bill Ackman said he was going to move.
You know how many people moved out of New York City in the last 3 years? 600,000.
O'Reilly firmly believes that the recent wave of people fleeing New York is
O'Reilly believes the recent wave of people leaving New York is closely tied to Mamdani's election as mayor. If Mamdani follows through on his hardline promises like raising taxes on millionaires, pushing aggressive wealth redistribution, or reorganizing production in the name of economic equality. It could trigger a mass exodus similar to California under Gavin Newsom. Wealthy residents and major businesses don't stick around where they feel punished for their success. They relocate to states with friendlier taxes, fewer regulations, and governments that want them to stay. O'Reilly warns that if this economic flight continues, it could seriously damage New York's financial ecosystem, shrinking the tax base, reducing jobs, and widening the gap between political elites and working-class residents. If Mamdani isn't careful, his so-called progressive experiment could push the city toward a financial crisis that may be hard to recover from.
Let's move in America, and you're right.
No, but they're not moving because they want a better view. They like to keep more of their money that they earn.
Yeah, that's true.
Look, Florida is a really good case study. So when DeSantis became governor, there were 250,000 more registered Democrats in Florida when he became governor 8 years ago. Now there's 1.4 million more registered Republicans in Florida. That's all migration from COVID and re-registration from COVID, 100%. Right. So it absolutely is happening. Whether they will abandon New York in droves, I mean, Bill Ackman's a really good example. He said he was going to leave, right? He's been going after Mamdani. He spent a lot of money on him. And then the day Mamdani won, he said, I'm willing to talk and sit down and work with you. That doesn't sound like he's packing his bags.
Well, it's not everybody. But look, if you're a person in New York City earning $150,000, okay, that's a lot of money for most people in the United States. That's nothing in New York City. 150K doesn't get you very much. Right. It gets you In-N-Out burgers.
And here's the hard truth. Things could get worse under Mamdani's leadership, especially with the new wave of taxes he's planning. People aren't leaving because of COVID anymore. It's been nearly 5 years. They're leaving because of economic pressure. High taxes, suffocating regulations, and endless bureaucracy have already forced thousands of residents and major corporations to flee California for states like Texas and Florida. O'Reilly warns that New York could be heading down the same path. When businesses and citizens can't grow or keep what they earn, they take their jobs, investments, and tax dollars elsewhere. If Mamdani doesn't rethink his approach, New York could end up repeating California's mistakes, losing people, businesses, and opportunities until it's too late.
The working people at a certain level are going to say, I'm going to the congressman's state because there's no state tax there. There's no local tax there. I get to keep more of my money. This isn't complicated.
Well, I I've looked at moving because I'd like to keep more of my money too. And
where should Maher move?
I'm not moving anywhere. I'm not moving anywhere.
No?
No.
You're going to stay?
And the taxes here are ridiculous, but it's still Southern California.
If Bill Maher ever decided to leave California, where should he go? Drop your thoughts in the comments because it's a question worth debating. Maher has openly criticized California's skyrocketing taxes and the suffocating bureaucracy that slows everything down, from construction permits to basic personal projects. He says the red tape isn't just frustrating, it actively stifles progress, making even simple tasks feel like quicksand. So if he moves, it won't be for prettier scenery or warmer weather. It would be to escape crushing taxes, bypass endless government obstacles, and find a state where he can live, work, and create freely. The real question is, which state checks all those boxes?
Do you think Vance or Rubio has a better chance at winning in 2028? Well, they got to wrestle the nomination away from Trump, which is probably not going to happen. Well, I mean, who knows?
It's a totally different country.
What?
In 2028 than it is now. Totally different country next year. These nitwits on television go, oh, this is a harbinger of the midterms. You know how many things are going to change in the next 12 months?
Democrats are going to kill in the midterms for the same reason they killed this week. Democrats are going to wipe.
Depends. It depends. It depends if the prices come down.
Well, it's not just the prices.
Oh,
it's just,
that's the big one.
It's the perception that the people who get into power are always drunk with power. This administration's also just drunk.
I don't understand why Maher seems so fixated on the idea that Trump won't give up power in the next election, raising alarms as if the outcome is already decided. O'Reilly offers a calmer perspective, reminding him that political landscapes can change quickly. We're only a year into Trump's administration, and predicting the long-term trajectory or speculating about future elections this early is premature. History shows public opinion can swing. Unexpected events can shift momentum, and early predictions are often unreliable. O'Reilly's point is simple but important. Patience, perspective, and time are key. Obsessing over hypotheticals now doesn't serve anyone, and only actual developments will reveal how things truly unfold.